Hi and welcome back to Books Everywhere. Today I am doing a weekly vlog. Well, this week I'm doing a weekly vlog. There's no specific reason for this. I just feel like I've been really motivated with reading recently and it's been ages since I did a weekly vlog. So we'll see how this goes because I might be really bad at filming anything that I'm doing. It is currently Monday evening. I've definitely been bad. I have not filmed anything today and then I just remembered just now that I wanted to film this vlog. So here we are. I have been at work today. It's bank holiday in the UK, so most people in like offices don't work, and then like shops are still open. It seems like supermarkets and stuff are still open. A lot of people do still work bank holidays, and I am one of those people. So I did work today, but I had slightly earlier hours, so I could get out earlier. I still worked at the same time, but it did mean that I could go for a run after work, and I ran 10k. Coming off the back of half marathon training and doing my half marathon, I have no idea what distance to run anymore. So I just thought I'll go out and do like 8 to 10k depending on how I feel, and I did 10, just like an out and back. So yeah, I did that. And now I'm home. I have had dinner and I would like to do some baking tonight, so that's kind of the next plan on the agenda. It's currently like 7:30, like just after 7:30. But I thought, oh no, nearly, it's 10 to 8 already, but yeah, I want to do some baking in a minute. But I thought I'd just come in and introduce what I'm currently reading and also try and pick my other read. So I'm currently reading 2 books, but I want to add something to it, and I will explain why. So I'm currently reading Girls of Paper and Fire, and this is actually a reread. Me and my friend Alex have been trying to buddy read this for a long time. Like, it's been in the plans to buddy read this series for a very long time, and we're finally doing it. So I've not read the last book. I don't know if Alex has read the middle book either, Girls of Storm and Shadow I think it's called. So I needed to reread the first 2 before reading the last one. I don't know if Alex needs to reread 1 or reread 2, I can't remember. But yeah, we're finally doing this. We're doing this over the course of 3 weeks, so 1 book per week. So it's about 50 pages a day, at least for the first 2 books, maybe 60 pages a day for the last one. But the text is quite large and it is YA, so it's not too daunting. I read my 50 pages in maybe 40 minutes today, like 35-40 minutes, so yeah, I'm pretty happy with that, and that was like in my lunch break at work with other people around as well. So I was thinking if I can keep to that and I keep reading this in my lunch breaks, then I will have the evenings to read something else. This is a YA fantasy following, it's set in a world where like there's different castes, so the poorer non-demon people are called paper castes, and then the steel caste who have some kind of like demon element to them. And then let me see where the description is. So they're kind of like half demon, I guess. And then there is the Mooncast, that's it, so fully demon. It still says partial, so humans with partial animal demon qualities, and then Mooncast is fully animal demon features and qualities. So yeah, it's following a paper cast girl as she is taken in to become one of the king's like concubines. I loved this when I first read it, but I read it a very long time ago. Rereading the first 50 pages today, I could not remember anything about this at all, so it does definitely feel like I'm reading it for the first time, which is quite nice. So yeah, we'll see how that one goes, because I probably like gave it 5 stars when I read it. I'm not 100% sure. I feel like just for the fact that I don't read as much YA, I'm probably going to be more critical. Now I definitely hadn't read as much when I read it before as well, so I didn't have as much to compare it to. But yeah, so we'll see how I find it. I'm also listening to the audiobook of Clementine and Danny Save the World and Each Other. This is a proof copy that I've had for a long time. I'm listening to the audio of it and I am enjoying it so far. don't know how much I'm going to enjoy it overall. It's following Clementine, who runs a popular blog post reviewing tea shops. She has a loyal, kind following, apart from this one person who is commenting mean things all the time, and that is Danny Mock, who, so it's from Clementine and Danny's points of view, so it's multi-POV. His parents own a tea shop that she has reviewed, I think, once. But where his like parents' tea shop is in Chinatown, there's gentrification like seeping in and trying to take over, and they end up working together on like a petition to try and stop these corporations from taking over Chinatown, but they don't know that they're like rivals online, that she runs the blog and he leaves the nasty comments, and they're kind of having this back and forth. They don't know who each other is, so obviously that's going to come out at some point. I feel like I am enjoying this so far. It's an easy YA, and that's what I expected from it. However, I just don't feel like, I don't know if I'm going to ever like Danny, because he said some really mean things, and I feel like anyone who has like run a blog or a YouTube channel or anything like that knows how that feels to be on the receiving end of it. And some of the stuff he's written, I'm like, I don't know if you can redeem yourself from this, because I don't feel like there's enough understanding in why he is acting the way he's acting. I don't have much sympathy for him. I don't think you should pour that outlet of like anger or upset or whatever into like hatred for other people online. So yeah, I don't think I'm ever gonna like come around to him, and maybe that'll put a dampener on the book, but we will see. We will see where this goes, but that's my other current read. Then my other, my third read, normally I will do 2 at a time, like I'll do an audiobook and a physical book, that's normal for me. I will try and also keep them like different enough as well. So that's fine for me to be reading like a fantasy physically and a YA contemporary on audio. But because I'm only reading 50 pages a day of Girls on Paper and Fire, I feel like I definitely could start something else in the evening, so or like around reading the 50 pages that I need to read a day. So this is my immediate TBR, so these are my 3 options. So we have A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, which is the second book in the Secret Society of Irregular Witches, which is an adult cozy fantasy. It comes out in July. And then we have Luminous, which is a proof that's already come out, although I did get this after pub date. This, if I remember rightly, is like an adult sci-fi following AI or robots. Yeah, like it's set in a near future Korea, and robots are integrated seamlessly into society. I'm kind of between this one and the next one, which is Our Infinite Fates. I think that's what it's called, but now I've taken the dust jacket off, I feel like I'm not sure. Yeah, Our Infinite Fates by Laura Stevens, right? Yeah, Laura Stevens. And this is what I was, obviously, you can tell I've taken the dust jacket off, I've put a bookmark in it. This is what I was going to start when I started Girls on Paper and Fire. But I actually switched a couple of days ago to reading A Proof of Wish You Were Her by Al McNichol, which I finished last night and I loved. And I remembered I had that on Kindle, so I needed to read that one before reading this one. This one's less urgent. But the one I want to pick up is this one, but I'm slightly worried that because this is also a YA fantasy, that this is going to be too similar to Girls on Paper and Fire. So that's why I was thinking maybe Luminous is the smarter option to go for here. In reality, I'm reading Girls on Paper and Fire for 3 weeks, so I'm probably going to end up at least reading these 2 alongside the series at some point, if like my immediate TBR stays the same. But yeah, I think I'm going to try and pick this up. Maybe I'll read the first couple of chapters and then see how I feel, see if it feels too like samey. I know the funny thing is, like, this book, I know that there's a red like cord or ribbon that plays a part in the story, and the same thing was mentioned in Girls of Paper and Fire in the first 50 pages, and I was like, oh no, that's going to be weird if I pick this up. So that's why I'm toying with that. Maybe I'll just read the first few chapters, and then if I feel like it's going to be too similar, I'll go for Luminous instead. So yeah, So that's where I'm standing at the moment. I am gonna go now because it's like 8 o'clock and go and start my baking that I want to do for the evening. So I'll try and do some little filming bits for you to take you along for the ride. There's nothing special about this week. This is completely just a random weekly vlog. Let me know if you'd like me to do these again, like regularly, because I did weekly vlogs every single week for like a long time, or pretty consistently for a long time, and then I've dropped off doing them in the past probably couple of years since I've started full-time work. I guess I just feel like my weeks are quite samey most of the time, and I am working like 9 to 5:30 every day. So I guess there's only so much I can show you outside of those hours, or so much like exciting stuff that would be interesting for you guys outside of those hours that would be worth filming, and that's kind of why I've dropped off doing them. But if you feel like you want to watch vlogs, I really like watching other people's vlogs. I find them really like soothing to kind of have on, so, and I like the chattiness of them. So let me know if you like that, or if you don't think it's worth me doing them, because I'm kind of in the middle of maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. So I guess we're going to try and treat this week as a trial run and see how it goes, and see if I actually keep up to date with like updating you guys as well. So yeah, anyway, welcome to the vlog. I'm reading things. I'm going to go and bake now. It's a few days later. I knew I would be bad at doing this week and just getting back into vlogs in general, doing a vlog after so long. I have not really updated you guys, but to be honest, whenever I've thought about updating you, like, I've not really had that much to update you on, as I said in the previous clip, I think, because I'm just working like my general 9 to 5 job this week. I don't really have that much to say or exciting to show you. Like, if I'm doing anything after work, it's just like seeing friends, seeing my parents, like stuff like that. I know I'm not necessarily like going out or going anywhere, so I don't really have much to film for you, but admittedly I have been bad about like filming general stuff that I'm doing at home as well. Like, I've built Lego this week and things like that, which is so cute. Maybe I'll show you that in a minute because it's adorable. I got more Animal Crossing Lego because I went to the Animal Crossing tour in the Sea Life Centre this past weekend, and I got some Lego that I didn't expect to pick up, and I'm really happy about that. And I built some on Sunday night after I got back from the Sea Life Centre, and I built some last night as well. I got the Celeste one. I'm just looking at them, that's why I keep looking up. I got the Celeste one and the Leaf Caravan, and they are so cute, and I'm so glad I got them, and they weren't that expensive, which is why I got them. But anyway, I am set up for filming at the moment. It's after work on Thursday. I did remember that I'm actually going to a concert this Sunday night, so I will probably run this vlog into Monday. So it will be like a weekly, like a 7-day vlog, Monday to Monday. But I will then get to include the concert stuff, which will make this vlog a bit more exciting, and I'm going up to Manchester for that. So at least you will have some more in this vlog that won't just be my standard week, because I have Monday off. Only because I'm working Saturday next week, but yeah, it will at least give this vlog something more for you guys to look at, watch. Really not selling this vlog at all. In terms of reading, I am obviously still reading Girls of Paper and Fire. This is just the dust jacket. I'm buddy reading this like until Sunday with Alex, so I'm about halfway through. I'm really enjoying this actually. I definitely am not, I didn't remember that much from when I read it before, which was probably like when it came out. I think this maybe came out like 2017, 2018, so it wouldn't surprise me if it was like right after it came out, because it feels like it's been so long. This has a lot of hard-hitting topics in it. It is entirely about this woman as she is taken to be part of this group of women who are there to pleasure the king. It's like, and be a concubine, and it explores those topics in a very hard-hitting way, and I had forgotten about that. There are some brutal things that happen in here. Even outside of that as well, there was like a scene at the start that I completely forgotten about where she's taken from the village, and there's some really horrible things that kind of happen there. So definitely look up trigger warnings for this if you're interested in reading it. But I am really enjoying this and how it explores all of these topics. It holds back no punches, and I think that's really important, and I think it's done really well to appeal to that YA audience. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this. It's not feeling that young, but it's feeling really easy to read and consume, so really enjoying reading my like 50 pages a day. I tend to read this on my lunch break at work and read the whole 50 pages in one go, like 50-ish, 50-60 pages, which is what I've been doing the whole of this week. So yeah, I am really enjoying this. I did also finish my audiobook, which was Clementine and Danny Save the World and Each Other. This one was okay. I was thinking about this and thinking about how I don't actually feel that positive about parts of it. There are definitely parts of this that I really enjoyed. It was a nice, easy read. I'm glad I listened to it. I like reading these kind of things like as an audiobook because they're just easy. Like contemporary romance YA is the easiest, like the best thing for my brain I found to listen to on audio. Fantasy I kind of find hard to listen to. So I'm glad that I listened to this, and I did enjoy it, and I think it has some really interesting and important topics in it for its age group. I like how Clem and Danny were trying to save Chinatown, and there was a lot of discussions around that and around gentrification, and I think that's really important and really interesting. But I didn't really like either of them as characters, especially Danny. I feel like I mentioned before, he was kind of like leaving these horrible comments on her blog, and I feel like he never really redeemed himself from that. Even the stuff he was kind of saying and doing in real life, I didn't really appreciate. And there was a scene when they had an argument and they just said some horrible things to each other, and I just thought if I was in that situation where I was like in a friendship or a relationship and someone said those things to me, I'd find it really hard to get over. And I feel like people say things in anger, but they always have an element of truth to them as well. And I think that was kind of how it happened in this book, and she did take things okay because she felt like they had an element of truth, and that they would be like a learning thing, like a learning curve for her, for Clementine. But I just didn't like how that was handled. I also found this kind of odd in terms of some of the things it mentioned, like Clementine has a tea blog and it's always talked about as a written blog, and she always talks about the comments, and Danny is like the troller, the commenter who is like trolling her. But we're also set in the modern world, and I don't feel like blogging is like that anymore. Like, I don't know if blogging, evidently there was probably a time where it was like that, where you'd blog and there'd be so many comments on it like instantly and stuff. But she seemed to be doing quite well, and I thought, I gave it the benefit of the doubt for the longest time, thinking maybe this is set in a different time or a slightly different reality where blogging is still popular. But then it mentioned TikTok, and I was like, but if we're in a world where TikTok exists, then blogging is, I don't want to say blogging is dead, because I've just started trying to post again on my blog, and I like having my blog, and I've blogged for over 10 years now. But I feel like this is blogging. Blogging was like this, like 20 years ago, maybe 15, but more like 20 years ago, 15 years ago. And the fact that she's talking about this blog now, it just felt odd to me. This is published in 2023, and then at the end it mentions like TikTok, and I was like, but if we're in a world where TikTok is a thing, then I feel like that's what she should be doing, or like Instagram at least or something. Blogging feels like an odd choice. But like I said, I kind of just suspended my disbelief for that. But anyway, yeah, there were things I liked, things I didn't like so much. So 3 out of 5 stars. Characters I wasn't a fan of, but some of the topics I felt were really handled quite well. So yeah, middle of the road, I guess. I have started listening to another audiobook, which is Cafe con Lychee. Don't know where my copy is. It's there. again, this is just a contemporary, and I like listening to these type of things on audio, especially in the summer, and I feel like they go really quick too. This is following, it's again set in cafes, which I thought was interesting, and I think it is going to also talk a bit about like Asian cafes and maybe gentrification in some way. This is talking about rival bakeries. So it's about Theo, whose parents have an Asian American cafe, and they have like an enemy cafe, which is this Puerto Rican bakery like across town, and they're both the sons of the people who own the cafe and the bakery, but they obviously end up having to kind of work together in some way. Both of the boys are gay, so it's probably going to end up as a romance. I feel like I'm going to enjoy this. I don't know how I've gone from kind of one book set around like a cafe to another one that's set around cafes. I love this cover. I think the hardback is so pretty, but I'm listening to this on audio, and it's, as I said, it's the kind of thing I love listening to on audio. It's giving me the vibes of Salt and Sugar, which I'll just pull off my shelves a sec. It's giving me the vibes of this book, which has got a very similar vibe and like concept to it. It's set in Brazil, and I loved this book. I feel like you don't really find books that often that are set in Latin America, and this is again like rival bakeries. They're literally across the street from each other, and it's set following the daughter of one and the son of the other, which is across the way, and they end up having to like join forces to save their bakeries. And yeah, I really love this, so I feel like it's got, like, Café Con Lychee has a lot to live up to be on this level, because I enjoyed this a lot more than I expected, and I've kept the proof for the past 3 years. So yeah, this one was great, and every time I do an unhaul, I just end up keeping this one. So yeah, we'll see, but Café Con Lychee has definitely given me these vibes. Other than that, I did start Our Infinite Fates after I talked to you guys the other day, but I literally read the prologue and I have not read any since, and I just have not found the time. Maybe I will tonight, but I feel like, considering I'm already listening to one book and reading Girls of Paper and Fire in the day, and I'm reading 50 pages a day, there's definitely space to be reading something else, but maybe this isn't the best to pick up, and maybe that's why I'm not having the motivation for it. And I just haven't had the time the past few nights. I've been doing other things, prioritising other things. So we'll see if I have the time or instinct to pick up Our Infinite Fates, but if I do, I will. That's the book I have gone for, so we'll see how that goes. I do have, I think I said before, I have 3 weeks of reading the Girls of Paper and Fire series, so I definitely will want to pick up something else alongside it at some point, I'm sure, or I won't be getting through many books this month. But anyway, that's my update for Thursday evening. I am gonna go now. I'm hoping to do some maybe more baking tonight, and then hopefully I'll vlog more at the weekend, I guess, because I have only one more day of work for this week. This is my little Animal Crossing Lego collection. This is what I built yesterday, my little caravan. It is so cute, and also if you take the roof off, you can like open the caravan up, and it has like a little bed inside and stuff. It's adorable. And then I have my other Animal Crossing Lego. I have none of the big like houses or shops or anything, but I think I have all of the little sets maybe. But yeah, and that's the other one I got, which is the Celeste one, which I really wanted, and that was only £9, and that was 24.99, 25. So yeah, I didn't think that was that bad for what it was, and I loved building it. I'm really glad that I got both of them. So yeah, my little shelf. Also, I just filmed a 45-minute video of my April wrap up, and my phone didn't actually record any of it. So that's where I'm at right now. So I'm going to leave that for today. I'm recording again tomorrow. I had a feeling that this would happen. Yeah. I'll just leave that. Film it again tomorrow, because I just can't face doing that again tonight. No. Hi, welcome to the end of the vlog. I am back from my trip to Manchester, which was so fun. We had such a good time. 21 Pilots was incredible and such good food. We went to Pureza last night. I have not been to Pureza. I think there's 3 locations. I think Camden, Brighton and Manchester, I think I'm right in saying. But yeah, I've not been to one before. I've heard really good things though, and the food was incredible, and even for the 2 non-vegan people I was with, they both loved the food. We shared a pizza and had mac and cheese and meatballs on the side, and I had a cheesy dough ball as well, which was just, it was great. I bought cookies, well, cookies in a bun, a cookie and a bun from Gooey, which I have yet to try, but I'll put a video up because I've just taken a video of them because they are absolutely stunning, and they've travelled back with me in very hot weather and they actually still seem to be holding their shape, so that's good. We also went to Queer Lit. I can't believe I forgot that Queer Lit is in Manchester and I've never been, and we just literally walked past it just by chance and I was so excited. So we did go into Queer Lit. I browsed for ages but I didn't buy anything. I always find that when I visit a place like that, like a destination bookshop, like an independent, I always want to buy something that I know that I'm really confident I'm going to absolutely love and want to keep. It really frustrates me if I buy something on the chance that I'll like it and then I don't end up enjoying it, and then I'm like, well, I don't want to unhaul it because I got it from a specific place but I didn't enjoy it that much, or I'm like ready to unhaul it. So yeah, that was a shame, but we did get drinks from there to support them anyway. So we also had some amazing food in this like food court and some great coffee. My friend is like a lover of coffee, so we went to like several coffee shops, which was nice. And then we had acai bowls this morning, which were also amazing. So yeah, food, amazing. Gig, amazing. Great time. Unfortunately couldn't fit in the Lucy and Yak shop. We walked past it last night, but it was already shut because it was Sunday evening. So I'm a bit sad about that, but I'm sure I will go back at some point. I honestly forgot that it was there, so at least I'm not like missing out in that sense. But yeah, had a great time. The only like bad thing is that I didn't sleep particularly well. I slept fine, but the travel lodge was just, I could hear people in the corridor like when they were going back to their rooms like at midnight, so it took me a while to get to sleep. And then this morning, it would have been fine if it wasn't for the building site right next door that started work at 7:30 this morning sharp and was very loud. But that's my normal get up time anyway, so I think if I could have slept longer I would have done. If I didn't normally get up at 7:30 every morning, I may have been able to sleep a bit longer because I had to shut the window because the noise was so bad. But it was also really, really hot and there was no air conditioning, so we were on the top floor as well. So it was fine. I still got like a decent amount of sleep, but I didn't get a lie in, which is a shame. But I did get to read quite a lot, so that was cool. So yeah, I'm just going to tell you where I am with my reading. Oh, we also like came across this like street market outside this art place. So I was browsing the prints and I got this print. I've got a lot of prints that I want to put on my wall and like stuff that's already framed that I need to put some string on the back of the frames and stuff. So I want to get more prints that I like want to put in my flat. So this is going to go somewhere. I'm going to add that to my collection, so when I properly curate my walls, that can have pride of place somewhere. But yeah, on reading, I will talk to you about Girls of Paper and Fire first, because I don't think I've spoken to you since I finished this on Saturday. So I was due to finish this yesterday, which was Sunday, but I didn't want to necessarily take it with me just to finish it, so I decided to finish it a day early. I really liked this. Although it's YA, there is so many things in here that are hard hitting, and it's written in quite an adult way. So I would just go into that with that knowledge, that it is quite adult and has some really upsetting scenes, and there's a lot of warnings in here about the sexual abuse and the discussions that are in here about sexual abuse, because that's a massive part of the book. as I've mentioned before, but I really liked this. I thought it was handled really well. I really liked the world. Like I said to Alex, this reminds me what I like about fantasy, because sometimes I think I struggle with fantasy, or I wonder if I even like fantasy that much. But reading something like this has just reminded me why I like fantasy and the kind of fantasy that I like, because the world in here is quite small. You're kind of always in the palace, and it does talk about bigger things outside of the palace, like the wars that are going on or past wars and things like that. But for the most part, you're like in the palace with the paper girls. I quite enjoy that. I think it makes the world and makes the book really accessible if you don't read a lot of fantasy. Like, this is probably one of the first fantasy series I read as a teenager, and it has, and me and Alex were both saying this, it has definitely held up, because we really didn't know what to expect reading this so long after our first reads of it when we were teenagers. So I'm quite excited to carry on with the series. In fact, I should be doing that today. I need to read my first 50 pages of Girls of Storm and Shadow today. So yeah, I'm excited to see what that one holds. I can't remember anything about that. I remembered things about this, but it definitely didn't. I had forgotten so much of this. It felt like, in a way, it felt like reading it new, like it was familiar to me, but there was so much I didn't remember. Storm and Shadow I really don't remember, and then I haven't read Fate and Fury, so that's going to be interesting to continue with the series. I've also been listening to the audiobook of Cafe Con Lychee, so I will leave you with my thoughts on this at 50%-ish in. I'm enjoying this so far. It's okay. I don't think it's like amazing. It's funny that as I said, I ended up reading Clementine and Danny Save the World. No. Save the World and Each Other, tried to save the world and each other, whatever that last audiobook I listened to was, and this one, because they're both about cafes. This one's about rival cafes, and it's fluffy, it's fun, but I think it's going to be quite predictable, and I am getting mixed up with the two characters as well, but it's, you know, it's lighthearted and fun so far, so we'll see where this one goes. I know I will enjoy it, but I know it won't be like a new 5-star read or anything like that. The book I took with me, and I have actually properly made a dent in, is Our Infinite Fates by Laura Stevens. Stevens. I am loving this so far. So before Laura Stephen, before we went, I think as I said before, I'd only read the prologue, which was like the first 10 pages or something. Not even that. 5 pages. So I properly delved into this morning, and I'm already 150 pages in, because I had a lot of time when I woke up really early this morning. I read like 100 pages like in one go, and I'm so addicted to this already. It's so good so far. I think I've explained what this one's about, but it's basically about these two people who are like rivals, and they don't know why, and they keep being birthed into different lives, and they have to always kill each other before their 18th birthday, but one of them doesn't know why. So Evelyn, who is the point of view that we're from, doesn't know why they have to die before their 18th birthday, or something like really bad will happen, but she doesn't know what. So we're living with them throughout all of these lives, throughout different countries, and they are different people, like they're reincarnated into different bodies, and they always find each other, and they always have to kill each other before their 18th birthday. So we're following them in Wales in 2022, and I think that's the timeline that's going to follow throughout the whole book, and then interspersed we get flashes of their previous lifetimes, and it's very addictive. I knew I would I thought I would really like this, and I am loving it so far. And it's been a liking to add in the room, and I can see why, so yeah, loving that. I think I'm gonna leave you here. Like, I'm sorry I'm leaving you when I'm like halfway through 2 books and I've just finished one, but it has been a week since I started this vlog. It's a week to the day. Hopefully it's been enjoyable, especially with the trip at the end of the week. I think if I didn't have that, it would have been quite like a samey day to day, me going to work and stuff. But the trip to Manchester has been so good, and hopefully some nice footage for you guys as well, and you've enjoyed that. So thank you for joining me on this vlog. Please let me know if you want more like vlogs in the future, because I don't know how often I'm going to make them, but I do enjoy doing weekly vlogs, so we'll see. So let me know what you think and I will see you in the next one. Bye.